There's a war happening right now about what it means to be a man. One side says you need to be harder, tougher, more dominant. The other side says you need to be softer, more vulnerable, more emotionally open. And most men think they have to choose. But that's a false choice. I'm going to show you the exact framework for integrating both fierce strength and deep tenderness. The balance that actually makes you dangerous in the best way. This isn't about picking a side. This is about becoming whole. By the end, you'll have a clear system for knowing when to bring the warrior and when to lay down your weapons. And if you stay until the end, I'll reveal what the Maasai elders understood about great warriors that modern men have completely forgotten. Welcome back to Deeper Dudes. But first, let's talk about why men are so confused right now. You're told to be strong, to never show weakness, to stand your ground no matter what. But you're also told that's toxic, that real men cry, that vulnerability is courage. So which is it? You scroll through social media and see one influencer telling you to be more alpha, more aggressive, more unapologetic. Then you see another post saying that masculinity needs to evolve, that the old ways are broken, that sensitivity is strength. And you're standing in the middle wondering what the hell you're supposed to be. Here's what nobody's telling you. You don't have to choose. The idea that you're either the hard warrior or the soft sensitive guy is one of the most damaging false binaries we've created. It's limiting, it's incomplete, and it's making men either rigid or passive, neither of which is actually strong. What a load of crap. Nobody teaches us that real strength is the integration of both. That the most powerful men in history, the ones who actually built things and led people and created lasting relationships, they had access to both sides. They could be fierce when fierceness was needed. They could be tender when tenderness was needed. And they knew the difference. Let me tell you a story that changed how I see this entirely. A therapist was working with a group of Maasai warriors in Tanzania. These are the Marani, the traditional warrior class. And he asked them what makes a good warrior. Some said strength, some said courage. Some said the ability to dominate in battle. And an elder, this old man who had lived through decades of real conflict, he stopped the conversation. He said, "I don't want to talk about what makes a good warrior. I want to talk about what makes a great warrior." Everyone went quiet. Then he said this, and I want you to really hear it. When the moment calls for fierceness, a great warrior is a killer. They have weapons, they're fierce, they're dangerous. Don't cross them. When the moment calls for tenderness, a great warrior lays down his sword and shield and is sweet like a baby. What makes a great warrior is knowing which moment is which. That's it, that's the entire framework. A great warrior isn't locked into one mode. He's not always hard. He's not always soft. He's adaptive, he's skilled. He reads the situation and responds appropriately. That's what we've lost. We've turned masculinity into this rigid thing where you have to be one way all the time, always dominant, always in control, always unflinching. Or we've overcorrected and said real men are vulnerable all the time, emotionally available all the time, soft all the time. Both are wrong. Both create men who are incomplete. Both create men who struggle in relationships, in leadership, in life. Real strength, the kind that actually works, is having both capacities and knowing when to use which. It's being able to stand your ground when your values are challenged, and being able to admit you're wrong when you've made a mistake. It's being able to protect the people you love and being able to ask for help when you need it. It's being able to lead with confidence and being able to follow with humility. This is what integration looks like. And once you understand this, everything else I'm about to show you starts to make sense. But the reason this matters so much, the reason we need to get this right, goes deeper than just being effective. It goes to your nervous system, your relationships, your mental health, and whether you're actually building a life that feels good to live. Before we go any further, I want to pause for something important. None of what we've been talking about matters if we don't have the energy and clarity to actually implement it. We all know what it feels like to wake up exhausted. No energy, poor focus, and zero motivation. We also know what it feels like when we get good, restful sleep, targeted therapy, and the right supplements. I've personally tested more things than you can imagine. I'm like your personal guinea pig. Everything I have listed in the description below is science-backed and extensively tested. And if you grab anything through my links, you'll be supporting this channel at zero cost to you. Thanks for taking a look. Now let's get back to it. If this is helping, please hit that like button so more men can find this when they need it most. And drop a comment. Where do you struggle more, being too hard or being too soft? Let's talk about what happens when you're only one or the other. Start with being only hard. Only fierce. Only the warrior who never bends. This is the traditional masculine ideal. The guy who doesn't cry, doesn't complain, doesn't show fear, he's successful in some ways. He achieves things. He climbs the corporate ladder. He wins arguments. He projects power. But here's what's actually happening underneath. His relationships are hollow. His wife feels like she's living with a wall. His kids are scared of him or distant from him. His friendships are surface level, just guys talking about sports and work, never anything real. He's alone because you can't build intimacy with impermeability. You can't create deep connection by refusing to let anyone see you. You can't make someone feel loved when you never let them help you or see your struggles. And psychologically, what happens is that all that suppressed vulnerability doesn't just disappear. It becomes depression. It becomes anxiety. It becomes this simmering rage that explodes at random moments. It becomes substance abuse, workaholism, anything to avoid feeling what's underneath. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that men who rigidly adhere to traditional masculine norms are significantly more likely to experience mental health problems and significantly less likely to seek help. They're suffering in silence because asking for help would mean admitting weakness. The pure hard warrior, he's actually brittle. He sounds strong, but he breaks. Because there's no flexibility, no capacity to adapt, no ability to change course when the situation calls for it. A tree that doesn't bend in the wind eventually snaps. That's what happens to men who are only hard. Now let's look at the other extreme. The man who's only soft, only vulnerable, only emotionally available. He feels good about himself because he's evolved. He's not like those toxic masculine guys. He goes to therapy. He talks about his feelings. He cries during movies. He's sensitive. And on the surface, this sounds great. But something's missing. He has no direction, no drive, no capacity to protect or provide or stand for something, no sense of agency in the world. And his romantic partner, if he has one, she's frustrated, not because he's soft, but because softness without strength is just passivity. It's weakness disguised as emotional intelligence. A man who can cry about his childhood but can't make a decision about where to live, that's not strength. A man who's in touch with his emotions but has no capacity to stand up for his values or protect his family, that's not attractive. That's avoidance. And in the relationship, this man becomes a burden. His partner has to be the strong one. She has to lead. She has to make the hard calls. She has to protect him emotionally while also managing her own emotional world. That's exhausting. That's not partnership. So what's the answer? It's not to find some middle ground where you're half hard and half soft. It's to be skilled. Think about a real martial artist. Someone trained in jiu-jitsu or aikido or any legitimate combat discipline. They're not tense, they're not rigid, they're not trying to overpower everything with brute force. They're fluid, they're calm, they read their opponent, they respond with exactly the right amount of force in exactly the right way. When someone comes at them hard, they don't meet hard with hard. They sidestep, they use leverage, they redirect energy, they respond with elegance and precision. That's skill. That's what we're aiming for. In a conflict with your partner, being skilled doesn't mean being hard and defensive, shutting down and protecting yourself. It also doesn't mean being soft and accepting whatever they say, even if it's unfair. It means reading the situation, understanding what's actually happening beneath the surface, staying calm while they're emotionally flooded, not taking their words personally, responding in a way that actually resolves the issue instead of escalating it. It means saying, "I can see you're really upset. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. What do you need right now?" That's not hard. It's not soft. It's skilled. It's powerful because it works. It diffuses the situation. It creates safety. It demonstrates real strength, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. Because real strength isn't about force. Real strength is having so much capacity, so much emotional bandwidth, so much groundedness, that you don't have to force anything. You can hold space. You can stay present. You can be both strong and open at the same time. So what does this integration actually look like in practice? The man who has integrated both sides, he's got the warrior in him. He has ambition. He has goals. He has the capacity to fight for what matters, to stand his ground when his values are challenged, to protect the people he cares about, to provide, to lead when leadership is needed. But he's also got the tender part fully developed. He can acknowledge when he's scared. He can ask for help when he needs it. He can admit when he's wrong. He can be vulnerable with the people he loves. He can cry. He can be soft. He can let people in. And here's the key. He knows when to access which. When his child is hurt, he's tender, he's present, he's emotionally available. When there's a real threat to his family, he's fierce, he's protective, he acts decisively. When his partner is struggling, he's open and vulnerable, sharing his own fears so she doesn't feel alone. When something needs to be built or a hard decision needs to be made, he's strong and action-oriented. He's not torn between these parts of himself. They're not in conflict. They're integrated. They work together. They make him whole. And life becomes easier when you're not trying to be hard all the time. You're not exhausted from the constant vigilance. When you're not suppressing vulnerability, your nervous system isn't in a perpetual state of activation. When you're not rigid, you can adapt to whatever comes. You can flow. And in relationships, this integration is everything. Women don't want a man who's hard all the time. And they don't want a man who's soft all the time. They want a man who's whole. A man who has his strength, who knows what he wants, who can lead, who can stand. And who also has the capacity to be vulnerable with her, to let her see him, to not be afraid to let her help him. That combination of strength and vulnerability, of fierceness and tenderness, of capability and openness, that's what creates real partnership, real intimacy, real love. This is what it means to be whole. Not hard, not soft, whole. Having access to all of yourself, the fierce part and the tender part, the protector and the one who needs protection, the leader and the follower, the strong and the vulnerable, and the man who can do this, who can move fluidly between these states depending on what the moment calls for. He's actually dangerous in the best way. He's powerful, he's capable, but he's not destructive. He's not threatening unless he needs to be. He's dangerous because he has options. He's adaptable, he's intelligent. He's like the great warrior the Maasai elder described. When fierceness is needed, he brings it fully. When tenderness is needed, he brings it fully. And he knows the difference. That's the man people want to follow. That's the man women want to be with. That's the man kids want to look up to. That's the man colleagues want to work alongside. He's not trying to dominate. He's not trying to control. He's not trying to merge or disappear. He's skilled. He's balanced. He's whole. Drop a comment. Where are you out of balance right now? Are you being too hard when you could be skilled? Or too soft when you could be strong? And what would it look like if you could access both sides of yourself? Well, that's it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a like and maybe even subscribe to Deeper Dudes. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. It all helps the channel more than you know, and it also tells us that we should make more content like this. We post videos every other day that tackle real challenges men face. Remember, struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The fact that you took time to watch this means you're ready for something better. Thanks again for watching and for checking out all the amazing products in the description below. They could jumpstart your healing journey. Catch you in the next one. Deeper Dudes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep thriving.